All right. So, we're on regis.edu/library. All right. We got to click on A to Z databases and go to PsycInfo. We go to PsycInfo. And, I said earlier, this is the easiest way for me to do it. It really, what I want to do is click this suggest subject terms. And I'm gonna choose one that's kindness. I'm just gonna search it. And I'm gonna show you what happens. This is my first guess at this is my first using the dictionary. So I'm like kindness, self-compassion is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, well, let's see what this is. The quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. And you can see we have uh, other suggested variables. So I click on pro-social behavior, and it's like positive social behavior generally concerned with the promotion of the welfare of others, limited to human populations, right? I have social behavior, which isn't what I want. Altruism might be something I want. Consideration for the well-being of others as opposed to the self-love of egoism, right? Like, I'm looking for words that match kindness. So I know I want pro-social behavior. So I want to click pro-social behavior. I want to click kindness. I want to click charitable behavior and friendship. I want to click on pro-social behavior. You can see I have other things selected, right? Altruism's good. We can look at what assistance means. Rendering aid or help. Cool. Cooperation, working together. I know this one. I don't feel like that's what I want. Working together to obtain a goal. Heroes, sharing, social behavior, needle sharing. So I'm good with that. Trust. Do I mean trust? I don't think I mean trust. They didn't give sometimes they don't give you a definition and those are older words. Antisocial behavior I'm not really interested in. Caring behaviors, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to count caring behaviors. So I'm going to click caring behaviors and community involvement, faith-based volunteers, generativity, concern with passing on to the next generation. Now I'm good with that. Um, so now I'm going to put an or between all these words and add them and see what I get here. Friendship, pro-social behaviors, altruism or social behavior or charitable behavior or kindness or caring. Now, what I need to do with this is I need to literally, and you can see I've kind of done this before, I need to literally put these words in just a notepad. Now, my other word that I wanted was modeling. That's what I originally called it. And I'm choosing this word because it's bad. I really want social learning theory and social behavior, but I'm going to go ahead and browse modeling and see what I find. Models, like, I'm not finding anything that I like here. You see this, all these words, I'm just kind of reading them, but none of them are matching what I want. Um, so I'm like, okay, like I know I mean social modeling, but I wonder if I could keep looking and find it, right? Like modeling others. Let me try modeling others. Let's see what we get there. So that didn't go well. So sometimes you get a word that you're going to need an expert like me to come in, like social modeling. I know that word exists. And now I'm just upset. Um, Another word I know is observational learning. So then I finally find it, and I click on observational learning, social learning. I want to click on this too. Broader terms, narrower terms. So we got social learning, imitation is imitation by human or animals to learn an animal's behavior or response. So that's good. I click in there. I want role models. I click back out. Social emotional learning. What's that? Education process, which includes instruction and self-awareness, emotion management, interpersonal processes, empathy, and other pro-social and emotional skills. Sure, I like that one. What's social reinforcement? From a long time ago. Not one I'm really going to be looking at here. Imprinting, imitation, social learning and so forth. I'm going to click. I want to add it with an or. Oh, and you can see what it did there. It added and my second set of variables. So this actually is going to work real nicely. So it's going to search for my first set and my second set. And what I'm looking for is those funny little arguments that, make the argument that Bert and Ernie is going to lead to more pro-social behavior, more kindness. That's what I was going for. So what I have to do here is my first, I'm just going to show you a few things, go through this. Like, what's my first step? First thing, I'm reading the titles. Neural processing of observed performance-based errors and rewards in the context of friends and unfamiliar peers across adolescence. So this is not, based on the title, I don't think it's going to have kindness in it, but it's going to be based on rewards. So it's like, do I do what other people do for rewards? So could be useful, but I don't think I'm going to click in it yet. Counseling curriculums for students with ADHD. It's a dissertation abstract. We shouldn't use it. Workplace criticism, ostracism, and helping behavior across level investigation. This one could help me find something interesting. So this study integrates social learning theory and social role theory by constructing a multi-level model to examine the relationship between supervisor ostracism and helping behavior that focuses on mediating role of coworker ostracism and the moderating role of subordinate gender. So that's telling me right there, I can tell that they're going to be looking at when a boss treats you poorly. Do your coworkers treat you poorly too? And the fact that they're giving me this kind of wording, it's very likely that the results are going to suggest this. Let's see what the results say. The results reveal that supervisor ostracism has a cross-level effect on helping behavior through the mediating role of coworker ostracism. So this is cool. Like this, I didn't think about this, but now I got a study that shows that when a boss models ostracism of one employee, right, other employees do this as well. So this isn't pro-social behavior, but this is negative behavior. So this might come in handy, but maybe not. Developing social and emotional concepts for learning with video games. This might be interesting because I'm trying to make the case that Bert and Ernie increases pro-social behavior, which is really important, but I need a link to media. This is going to be a link to media. So let's see here. This qualitative study used grounded theory. Yeah, I'm not a fan of qualitative work, but let's see what they found. We found evidence of social emotional learning concepts through analyzing game recordings, interviews, and player reflections. Yeah, this one's just a little too opaque. It's like it's a little too wishy-washy. Sharing food with infants in a community, so we could look at that maybe, but that doesn't seem super interesting. Mexican-American mother socialization of pro-social behavior and emotion. Well, that's seeming like the very kind of thing I want, but it's a dissertation abstract, so I'm going to skip that one. You don't want to choose dissertations. Dissertations have not been peer-reviewed. I think that's very important. There's things. Understanding others and valuing their welfare, the neural basis of interpersonal accuracy, social learning, and altruistic choice. Maybe altruistic choice could be good. Social learning and that. I'll give that a read, see if I can say there's a neural foundation, but again, it's a dissertation. Another dissertation, see academic journal, that's what we want. Social signaling has a framework for second person neuroscience. That's not what I'm really looking for. The broken share, evidence against emotionally driven upstream and indirect reciprocity. That doesn't seem like my jam either. The impact of leader dominance on employees, zero-sum mindset, and helping behavior. This might be really good. Drawing on social learning theory, we contend that a leader's tendency to influence others via dominance could decrease employees' interpersonal helping. So they're going to find that clearly. Otherwise, they wouldn't have written the paper. Cultural traditions and fitness interdependence. I'm like, meh. Universal cell implementation to improve community and pro-social skills. A pilot study. Validation of social and emotional learning skills. Class assessment. That doesn't seem interesting either. Comparing indirect and combined effects of mindfulness and compassion practice among school children on inter and intrapersonal abilities. I'm looking at the bold here, so I'm not seeing pro-social behavior until I get to this one. This implies that, I'm just going to go to the end. This implies that adolescents who experience larger development in social emotional learning also experience more increases in resilience and pro-social behavior and a decrease in difficulty. So I'm going to read this one. This one's likely going to go into my work. It's going to involve social emotional learning, social learning leading to pro-social behavior in the real world during COVID. So that's cool. It's like a modern study. So I might be able to say, once I read it a little bit more carefully, which I would do if it were my paper, I'd probably end up saying social learning predicts pro-social behavior during very difficult times, particularly the COVID pandemic. Cite the work. Emotional contagion, pro-social behavior in rodents might be interesting depending on what case I want to make, right? Drug use, talk, and adolescent friendship interactions, long-term effects of social learning on lifetime substance use disorders. This might be interesting, especially for the argument for like emotional learning. I wouldn't say though that substance use disorders are like antisocial. They're just a different thing. Scaffolding the emergence of infant helping, a longitudinal experiment. Okay, that sounds cool. So scaffolding is kind of like showing kids how to do it step by step, a longitudinal experiment here. Early social experiences such as caregiver scaffolding play a crucial role, but disputed role in the emergence of prosociality. A longitudinal experiment examined how explicit scaffolding, such as encouragement or praise, influences helping late in the first year when helping emerges. 83 infants participated in up to 10-week home visits in which they could help and experiment on a novel activity. Compared to the control group, control condition, explicit scaffolding increased helping by handing out reaching objects, and among younger infants by cleaning up. Okay. So scaffolding as encouragement or praise. So maybe that's not exactly what I want, but I can say others rewarding us for our behaviors improves our pro-social behavior. Now I'm looking for more modeling, for more social modeling. Cognitive and affective processes of prosociality. One piece of the puzzle of prosocial behavior is understanding underlying cognitive and affective processes. That's really good. We discuss how modeling behavior in social dilemmas can be expanded by integrating cognitive theories and attention-based models of decision processes and models of affective influences on prosocial decision making. We review theories. This one's going to be really good, but I'm going to have to read the whole thing. It's going to have a lot of good stuff on it. I'm just going to have to read it. And this paper is the kind of paper when you get, I can tell it's a review because it says so. We review theories. So that's going to be really, really good. So I'm going to pull a lot of things out of there. ultimately I still have to make my case. I haven't found that much, but at the end of the day, right, this is what I got to do. This is what you got to do. You got to comb through this literature. You got to get your search terms right. Use that dictionary. You got to make your case. Now, I have actually gone through this and made a pretty good case. I know I can make a good case, but ultimately I might make a different case than I originally thought. So when I look back at all the points I want to make, I might be able to get a little bit more specific. So this one, like, humans learn by social modeling, I know that. Humans learn to act with kindness by modeling pro-social behavior. Okay. We'll figure that one out. Humans learn to think kinder by modeling pro-social behavior. We have some evidence for this. We don't have perfect evidence, but I'm going to use those articles I stopped on and said, hey, I'm going to check out those theories and look up that as well. That review paper. Humans learn to feel more kind feelings by modeling pro-social behavior. Humans can learn by watching role models on TV. So I'm going to go ahead and put, television down here and just see if I can get that. Children's social responses following modeled reactions to provocation, pro-social effects of television drama. So there's clearly work from back in the day that I can cite. So I'm just ultimately trying to make my case, trying to find evidence for each of my points, right? I'm looking at that. I'm doing step 5 here. And I'm finding evidence for some of these pieces, but not all of these pieces. I'm going to eventually put this all together and make a final case. So this is what you have to do. How to use the PsycInfo dictionary and how to make a case.